How do you make possible that the stopping is still on the table? Well, I think in the case of biotechnology, it was a different story for nuclear power. We have to be clear about that. There was, in the 1960s and 70s, enough resistance to the developments of nuclear power that it kept some kind of bounce to it. But in the end, Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened, and we have plenty of nuclear bombs and plenty of nuclear power plants in the world. So you could say, okay, that didn't quite succeed. I think it succeeded, but in a more subtle way. In the case of biology, though, in the case of biotechnology, a very different case, because I think that from 1996, and you could go back to 1982, from 1982 to this day, it's been a continuous process of approval, like slow process of, I wish it would be approved. And the claims of gene drives today, that they are now really controllable, that they are now really able to produce some kind of utopian biology in the world, are just a symptom of how much they recognize their incapacity to stop the resistance, not only by people, but by biological species as well. They propose to do something, they push as hard as they can, they bring all the power of the state, all the power of international organizations, and still it doesn't work. Mexico is a really good example. From that time, the year 2000, when we made public that there was this problem of contamination in Oaxaca, there's been a continuous resistance in the streets where people come out on the streets and say, we do not want this. We do not want transgenic corn in Mexico. Every year, the industry and the government, it doesn't matter who is in government, left, right, up, down, it doesn't matter. They always say what the American embassy tells them to say, which is, this year we're going to approve GMO corn in Mexico. They've been saying that since the year 2000. We're now 22 years later, and every year, social pressure and biological pressure from indigenous communities, from people in the streets in urban environments, from suburban people from outside, very different configurations of resistance come up every year. And so far, this slow approval process has not succeeded. So we've gained 22 years of success, and I believe it will continue to be like this for a long time. But it is an everyday kind of battle. It gets revisited because of this open-ended vision of utopian, techno-utopian benefits that just keeps becoming fresh again, over and over and over, no matter what. Ongoing battle, we keep winning, and yet it doesn't end.